Hey everybody, Adam here. Today, I want to talk to you about how to stay safe while you're out there alone, camping and hiking. Know your bailout points. On some routes, such as loops for example, you can be able to get off the trail at multiple different points. And that's very important, especially on routes where you have no idea if there's going to be weather, mountain passes, and things like that. Tell at least 3 people where you're going. You never know what could happen to you out there. Telling at least 3 people makes it easier so that you have a timeline. Make sure that when you tell your 3 people, tell them when you're going, where you're going, and when you expect to be back. You should also give them timelines. So tell them if you haven't gotten back by say 6 p.m. to start wondering where you are. Then you should also give them another time. Give yourself a safety window. Okay, if I don't answer by this time, it's also time to alert the authorities. There's just so many things out there, so many variables. People often find themselves getting in trouble most of the time by not telling anyone. Number 3 is while you're hiking, be aware of your surroundings. For example, as I was filming this, I just heard a rattlesnake in the bushes right over there. You want to make sure that you are completely aware of your surroundings. You want to make sure that there's no hazardous animals or anything like that you may be at more risk during the time of year or place that you're going to. There have been many times where I've been hiking along trails like these and I see an animal that I wasn't expecting. Just make sure that you give them their respect and their space. A good saying that I've heard of is you take your thumb, hold it out at an arm's length away, and if the animal is not covered up by your thumb, then you're probably too close, especially if it's like a moose or something like a bear that can cause you damage. And not only animal hazards, but the terrain hazards. For example, if you see rocks like these, you have to know what you're getting yourself into. What kind of terrain are you going to? What's the environment like? Is my body ready for what trip I'm going to plan? These are all valid questions. It will have a different answer depending on your ability level, how long you've been doing it, and if you've experienced anything like it before. One time, I was hiking in New Hampshire in deep winter, January. Had my snowshoes on. I see this large river that I have to cross. It has a snow bridge on it. A snow bridge happens when snow falls over the river, it freezes, and it's like a combination of ice and snow that is usually safe to walk on. I saw tracks going right over this river and I thought, I bet it's safe. So many people did it before. I proceeded to go over this river thinking it was safe, and I was about midway over the river when I heard a large crack. Before I knew it, I fell right into the river with my snowshoes on, with all my gear. I got completely wet, soaked, and freezing. It must have been at least 10 degrees out. Luckily, I wasn't too far from my car, so I turned around, booked it there, turned the heat on, and packed up and went home. This was the beginning of my trip, luckily, and I lived another day. I could have been in a lot of trouble there. Came prepared, and I had the right layers and the right preparation and mindset to not keep going despite my setback. If something like that happens to you, know when you have to adjust your plans and know when you have to turn around. And my last tip for you guys today is go out there and have fun. You're more likely to die of hypothermia. You're more likely to trip and fall. You're way more likely to do all those things. I see some people taking tasers. If that's your personal thing, that's fine. To me, I think that's like a very unnecessary thing because there's so much more out there that could get you. Don't be paranoid about other people coming after you in the woods. The chances of that are incredibly low. Most of the time, these fears are irrational and you're way more likely to take a trip, fall off the edge of a cliff, get crushed by rocks, get bitten by a snake, something like that. But even then, those other things are also really rare. Just get out there and enjoy nature.